thank you for that thrilling and deeply emotional film. I thought we
Thank you.
might start by talking about the book that it's based on. And this is the biography of Ferrari from 1991. Why did you focus on a specific period of Ferrari's life for this film?
Because within those 3 months of 1957, all the dynamics of his situation, his circumstances, his relationship with Lara, the bankruptcy, all converged in actuality in that 3-month period, and so that's the drama, you know. So that's why that period. I wouldn't have been interested in it if it was a linear biopic or something.
And in terms of the cast are wonderful, but Adam Driver in this central role, it's a very physical and emotional role. Can you tell us about working with him on this film?
Tell you, he the preparation really involves really understanding everything about Enzo Ferrari, starting from the beginning, and he was a very romantic figure. There's a reference to 1917 when he applied for a job. What actually happened, he got turned down. His father had died a year earlier. His brother had died. He had kind of terrible circumstances. And he was bereft, sitting on a bench in the rain in Turin, as he describes it. And he asks himself at that moment in time, who shall I be in this world? And that notion is a tremendously romantic idea, that he could transcend his circumstances, particularly in a static class hierarchy like Italy at that moment in time, and with absolutely no means, move himself into what was, you know, probably one of the most romantic things you can do with your life at that moment in time, which is be a race car driver. It's kind of like being an astronaut in 1970. And that core of seeking and moving forward, particularly in this period of time that this takes place, puts him at this kind of a wonderful counterpoint, dramatically counterpoint to Lara. They're both in a state of grief. They're in individual silos. She's kind of locked in a prison of the past and cannot move forward into the present, but is certain of all her judgments on all things. Enzo, aspirational, is looking into the future. He's insecure. He sees enemies everywhere. And when he was asked in this time, you know, what was your favorite car? It's always the next one. Everything was always the next. And so they're in this kind of pre-psychological state in individual silos. They never really will connect. And that irreconcilability to me is what was so fascinating. And this is a long way around, but the understanding of the impulses of Enzo, that's where Adam and I began. Then there's a tremendous amount of detail in the way Adam works and in the way I work in terms of preparation and movement and breathing and observation and understanding the magic of internal combustion, which sounds absurd right now, but is magical from that period of time. You know, and a massive amount of cooperation from Piero Ferrari, who I've known for 20 years, and a lot of the people at the factory. So.
And with many of the things that we see on screen, the props, right, the detail of the film, you're known for being a very detailed filmmaker. Can you tell us what we see on screen? How did you recreate that world? I imagine it's very detailed.
The entire film was shot in Modena, and Modena looks exactly, Rome was Modena, the Ravenna, where the drive-through church is Modena. One of the most difficult things to do was the cars, because they had to be safe, they had to be very fast, they had to go about 140 miles an hour, and they are extraordinarily valuable. The actual car that Cerrufi won in sold for $70 million in Pebble Beach in 2017. So we were building cars. The Maserati, by the way, that Beyrad drives in the beginning, a single-seater, that's Nick Mason's car. And that's the actual historical vehicle. He races in historical races. But everything else we recreated with a lot of cooperation from from the factory.
That's amazing. So the cars that we see were built with Ferrari. The Ferrari team oversaw them.
The shapes are 3D LiDAR scans. It takes about 2 days on real cars. And then we designed a chassis working with Neil Layton, who's a fantastic engineer who built the Batmobile. And we designed a chassis and powertrain, and then had hand-beaten aluminum body panels on the car done by Luigi Campana, who is a Maserati restorer in Modena. And when we needed something in a hurry, we could call Gabriella Lally at the factory, and they could bring over a couple of engine blocks. They were real engine blocks. So we're the benefit of a lot of help.
It's the detail is incredible, and the film is wonderful. I can't thank you enough for sharing your film with us here in London this evening. It's a thrilling film, and I just want to say thank you very much for bringing it here to London.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks.